A message from the publisher. Taking action is what it's all about in order to make things happen in life. I have found that as I take action on various projects, I learn and grow. I feel energized. T- Taking action is powerful. With each step I take, I see more and more of the bigger picture. I don't have to know all the details about what each step will require. But when I make the first move, and as I go along, the more I know and the more progress I make. As I talk with the smart and successful people in this book, I learn even more about this vital subject. They discuss many success factors that make action count, and they talk about common sense ideas about how to take those first steps. I highly recommend this book. I think that it is just may change your life. Take action now. Chapter 1. My Liquid Fish, Jimmy Mack. David Wright. Jimmy Mack is a medical in- intuitive and spiritual life coach. He has completed a variety of healing modalities, but after a near death experience, he noticed that his ability to help and contribute to others had greatly increased. He works plays with clients worldwide by way of in person appointments, phone, and Skype. Jimmy is an ordained minister and earned degrees in American Studies and Theology and has a doctor a divinity degree. He learned about Reiki and become a Mayan Usui Reiki master. He has studied psycho psychometry and psychic development. He has gone on a shamanic journeys, taken remote viewing classes, and studied ascension with the monks. Later, he explored and completed levels of access consciousness, theta healing, as developed by Viana Stibble, as well as level 1, 2, and 3 of reconnective healing, made popular by Eric Pearl, DC. He became a certified practitioner in matrix energetics with Richard Bartlett, DCNP, as well as the UN method made popular by Dr. Kum Yuen. Jimmy, welcome to Take Action Now. Will you tell our readers about your journey and how you wound up doing this? Jimmy Mack. I grew up in Clearwater, Florida, Florida. In the 1970s, I attended Stephen Paul's Epi- Epic Episcopal School where I became an acolyte in the Episcopal Church and thought that was it. My medical experience was rooted in Western medicine, and I went to doctor for prescription or surgery just as everyone else I knew. It was it was not until the 1980s and my college years in Tampa, Florida, at USF that I hungered for classes in religion and explored spiritualist churches in the area. I took I took psychic development classes and attended psychic fairs and even scenes. I found it all so fascinating it would consume my spare time, my reading and my efforts. I was not trying to prove or disprove, but to somehow try on this eternal spiritually feel aligned suit so that I could continue to explore the offbeat. I wanted to answer questions that no one or any mainstream religion that I was aware of could possibly answer. I knew this would be lifelong event and quest. The more I read and experience, the more courses I would complete. These courses experiences and modalities would mold me into what I would later become, for lack of a better term, a healer. Right. So, what did you do then and what happens now, Mac? I became like a man on fire with the thirst to help, contribute, and to heal suffering in any manner I could. I would go out of my way to help the sick and the afflicted, often with varying result. Of course, I later realized that what show up and what was different and unusual was in fact meant to happen at that time. It seemed with the client, the more detached I could become, the more neutral and the higher the chances and probability were for change to occur. In the end, I work toward creating change more than results. I work, play, create, avoid toward toward change. It is silly to left brain think that an all knowing, ever present, powerful presence would require worship or praise or not initially know that we are in fact asking for better and the best to occur. If someone disease or disorder is far to the left where there is suffering, pain and disorder, spirit surely initiative knows that we are changing course back to the center or to the right, much as we would steer a canoe. I've often said that the better or best result is like a dock that we are trying to reach by canoe. We are paddling in calm but current filled water in the fog on a moonlit night. But all we need to do is get to that dock. If we get to the right of the dock and tie off, we will be fine. Often it is our programs, our left brain mockery of it cannot be done that not only won't let us reach the dock, but won't allow us to realize we are in a canoe with a pedal that represent change in our hands. Over time, I have seen miracles occur. I have witnessed the lame walk and clients with migraine cease having them. For example, I have noticed senses like sight and hearing increases and improve, and even my own eyesight vastly clinically verifiably improve. Countless clients for decades have experienced healings and profound changes in my presence and have witnessed miracles take places in their lives. I have no doubt that when we change our vibration, only slightly change can take place and improvement are made. Right. I understand that you had a near death experience. Will you tell our readers about that, Mac? The entirety of that could take up another book, but I will give you a brief overview. I wound up in a hospital with what I now consider food poisoning, but as you all know, if they search for something serious long enough, they will find it. So I was presented with getting my gallbladder out. The problem was that they gave me too much anesthesia during my surgery and nearly killed me. I wound up with full blown clinical pneumonia. Pneumonia. After a stint in ICU for 3 days, I had a profound experience, including otherworldly beings in my room, physically experiencing going up into portal that looked like deep inner space, and the feeling that I was going up into a kaleidoscope of colors and the midst of all that is. I never saw bright light or Jesus or my sweet brother Kevin who died from a drugs and alcohol overdose decades ago. What I saw was as real as the world you see right now, and no one thought I would live, including me. I was shown things and told things that increased my healing ability a bazillion fold. It was as tough it was as though I were given ethereal cotton candy, if you will. Now I break some off and give it to clients in person, on the phone or over Skype. They feel lighter, and I am now convinced that the little soul ghost inside them recognize and respond through the movement and event that occur during a session. Their spirit recognize my spirit and others in the room. I think it reminds them of being home. Example, on the other side, so much so that they often experience sadness, joy, or even levels or bliss they cannot describe. The goal is always to create a wind or vortex of change. The old joke is that the only thing you can rely upon for certain is death. And Texas, and to that I would add change, count on change happening. You may not always like it, and it is not always pleasant and what I describe as a fluffy kittens and cute puppies, but change nonetheless develop us deep and create some more expensive experience during this incarnation. It can increase the odds of our having a more dynamic life this time around, and the option to get it so right that we don't have to return. I often tempt spirit and dare the field to impress me. So whether you are talking to God, Jesus, Buddha, or your great granny or an angel that someone made up. I coach others to be bold in their request and then clear the path blocking that bold event so that it can occur. I want spirit to show me a sign so that I know beyond all knowing that it could have only come from the god stuff, right? So you pretty much play it fast and loose or shoot from the hip, Mac. My clients could say that one of the keys in this little book is that it has taken me 50 years to realize that everything is made up, everything. Time is construct, movies, dinners, politics, religion, the social norms. It took an inventor to make a car, and an optimistic to create the airplane, and a pessimistic to invent the parachute. Electricity, plumbing, air conditioning, and heating, and all our creatures' comfort were created by those who wanted to make their lives and those of others a little bit easier and line their pockets with coin in the process. Cooking is another great made up construct. Daily chefs and moms and television shows are inventing, experimenting, and melding ideas into pots, skillets, and recipes that no one has ever done before. So, therefore, instead of taking the proven road of death and taxes, I'm going off on the right brain trail into the unknown, the made up and the derivatives of what can and will work for me. I'm going to create better beliefs, thought, deeds, events, and memories that will leave a mark left behind the others can steady find solace in any in and improve their lives and lives of those they love. Life for me has been a continual pursuit or anticipation of what shows up, that which is unusual and different and just as important, enjoyable. We have been so preconditioned to work hard and think nothing is easy that I want to say let's make everything easy and fun and different and enjoyable, and life will then be delicious. Is this even possible? I think so because I've done it. I have created a construct or reference point for everything being easier, more turn, entertaining, flowering with grace, with ease, without a healing crisis or a crisis of any kind of for that matter. Now, this does not mean you will not have blocks that in some way prevent you from following me down my little bliss field. Bliss field path. It means that the door is there if you can find the handle and just open it. There is no key. It is not locked and and it never was. Often we are mix up in this fog of left brain overthinking and bogged down into mystery, intrigue, and my favorites to clear, deserving, worthy of, and open to receiving. These three are generally a gateway to get you what you would like to have. I stay out of want because that is like a vision board that just keep wants out in front of on some construct pictures of new cars, women, man, money, mismatch Mac mansions or whatever, keep them just out of reach. Now, if you have a vision board and and want to take it and in fact collapse the energy of that board into your body as if it is passing in around and through you like a ghost, then I am fine with that. That can make a difference because then it is as if the sponge like sticky substance that is us actually allows it to permeate into your being right down to the core, and envisaging a liquid fish containing everything in your vision board might just do it. Now let's say that on your vision board you have a picture of a new Cadillac. If you wound up getting a new Lincoln or foreign luxury car, without you be just as excited? The answer is probably yes, and the point is that if you are open to that occurring with a soft focus rather than a must have only, the probability greatly increase that in fact a new car will show up in a way that you would have never dreamed up it could be. It could be considered simple and yet logical, but why would you give all of this out to the world now? Since the liquid fish was given to me from spirit, I believe that by giving these ideas and gift to the world, I can in some way give back to others and encourage generation to come to create profound changes in their life. I also believe the more you will pay with an and experiment with this and try out different ways to do it, I see it, feel it, and so on, the more exotic experience you may have. And by that I mean what I am going to coach you to do. Do not be fooled by how simple it is just because it is new. I believe it is extremely powerful, and I'm hopeful I will create an aha moment for you. Right? Don't client need to take courses as you did to get their head around all this mac. You you need you need not take weekend courses. Study huge books, download endless system of studies word or videos, and my personal laughing favorite, meditation with a yogi in a cave for month on end. You need not meditate for 25 years to figure out how to do this. I have done all of those things and more already. This is the culmination of all of it melded into one thing. My dear lifelong friend and confident would always say, explain it to me like I'm 9 years old. So here it is, David. Who hasn't not seen the fish symbol for Christians? It is everywhere from on the bumpers of cars to billboards to magazines and so on. Who has not at some point in life drawn stick figures? I have empowered for years. The symbol I am about to describe to you, I have played with it. I practice it and try it out on every conceivable type of person, place, thing, situation, pet, disease, disorder, phobia, fear, financial issue, weight gain or loss, sexual hang ups, or trying to have more sex, and most anything else you can come up with. I've seen it work immediately and sometimes over hours, days, weeks, and months, but I have seen it make a change and have a lasting effect with people who had no hope. I have witnessed change where no one else believed there would be a change. If you know how to use a pendulum or can use applied kinesiology and or a muscle testing yourself, that is great. For those unfamiliar, please reference. In order to experience applied kinesiology or muscle testing, merely stand up and face due north. Ideally, it is great to be hydrated and relaxed. Standing due north, say your name out loud and it should pull you forward for yes state. My name is Nemo the fish, and it should rock you backward, symbolizing a no. I like to do several clearing first to get you to where you are at a better place. The first statement should be I am, if that is a no. Ask God to change is so that you can be fully present in your body when it comes in. It should pull you gently forward to a yes or affirmative. If it is a no, backward of, or if nothing is happening and you are at neutral, drink a glass of water. It can and will come into where you are being pulled forward for yes, if you will just have patience. My next favorite statement after you have I am is I'm a clear. I used to run through a ton of negative text and question that world rule out hexes, curses, dark energy, wars, negative alliance, and so on. Now I just state I am a clear. Again, if you are a neutral, you may not be sufficiently hydrated. So take a moment and drink a large glass of water. If your response is so no, example pulling your backward, ask for God, Jesus, angels, Buddha, or any of a number of ascendant master to clear you and to show you by pulling you forward when you are clear. After you have I'm clear, check the reverse of this too. You can do this by stating out loud I am unclear. You may find that to be a yes or a forward response, and ideally it should be no or a moving you backward motion. I have found the I am unclear to be the elephant in the room or the dark self or energy that is present and can be holding you back, weighing you down, or the root cause of your issue or challenge. Now that you have those, you are able to have baseline whereby you can ask the question, make challenges, and address the negative items you want to get rid of or positive item you want to download from morphic field of all that is. Right. How do you create what you call basic fish? Math. Basic fish is what I describe as a stick figure you can draw with either your index finger, right handed or left handed, it will not matter. As if you are pointing outward and up at the sky as though you are saying, hey, look at the mountain. You can pretend to draw it right in front of you and small or larger on the wall of your due north direction, or if you are outside, it can be as big as the sky. Find something, for instance, that you want to get rid of, such as I'm my ideal weight for my height and body type. Chances are it will test as no and or rock you back. Then draw your fish in one smooth motion. Point outward and start at the bottom as if the point where you start is the bottom of the tail. Then aim your finger to draw a fish slowly by going up and toward and right over the top of the back, then down around the front of the fish mouth, then under its belly, then cut back across your line and go upward to the ceiling or the sky. This is to take that belief or issue, instance or thing of you and release it up to the heavens or the clouds. For downloading something positive such as I am deserving, start at the heavens or the top of the tail as though you are pulling down deserving out of the sky. Move your pointing finger slowly downward, then along and underneath the fish belly, around in front of where its mouth is, over the top of its back, then cross your original line and act as though you are now dropping this I am deserving statement back into you by bringing your finger back toward you. You should only need to do this once and it should stick. Start out small and work your way up from I am to I am deserving to I am worthy, I am open to receive, I am open to receiving. You get the idea. The size of the fish does not matter, and over time you can go faster while it may be endless. I believe that it can change your life because I know it has changed mine and countless clients throughout years. Often I need not say anything, whether clients are on the phone, in person, or on a Skype. I'm merely drawing a fish with my index finger and it takes off whatever the negative state may be on them and download the positive state. Even if you already muscle test or use a pendulum, try using standing muscle testing facing north and hydrated even for 5 or 10 minutes, whether you are new to this or a superstar healer. I think you will be surprised at your responses. Good stuff you thought you had, you don't. Bad stuff you thought you had gotten rid of years ago, you had not. It's still there. So play with it all and see what you can create and come up with. Practice the above until you become proficient. That could mean a day, a week, a month, or a longer depending on you. Right. How does it work? I mean, who or what is happening, Mac? I believe that I have done this long enough to create a shooting star of energy, if you will, that will take up what no longer serves you or bring into you what could be useful or positive. It's a though we are creating a tornado effect, taking up the negative and the soft train to download the positive. This is a way to access the field of all that is. I believe the field is everything and is the greater cosmos, the great beyond. It does flow in, around, and through us. It is the divine spark that connects us all and can be accessed by anyone. It has been there all along, and regardless of your belief for or against it, it will work. Just because you don't like computer or television doesn't mean that if you turn it on, it won't come on. It will come on regardless of whether you believe it in it or not, and it will work whether you are in the room or not. I have seen that over time. If you play with this long enough, it will start playing with you, and that's when things get really interesting, right? Why are the words so important? Mac, the the conundrum is that words can mean everything or nothing. In other words, all of these release changes statement or pieces can and will work, but over time you can come to a place where you can say one word or use one thought or one representation of 10 or 100 or 1000 words. Each word has a different signature. Negative words look more like allergies, ponder that, and are words like hate, which is not the same as rage, which is not the same as resentment, and so on. Your quest can be to eliminate any and as much of the negative that you can, and to stir up adhi to and bring down as much as many of the positive as you can for the rest of this lifetime. For stubborn changes or erasing, I like to say to all that is God, Jesus, Buddha, or take this out of every sphere, direction, depth, height, an angel, all that is known and unknown, name and unnamed. For stubborn, download from heaven. I might say something like download the highest and the best version of in, around, and through me now, creating the highest and best version of this for me now, or I might say on all level I believe, think, know, and feel, and I'm ready, willing, and able, and I'm know when, where, how, and why to release or download. If none of this is working for you, you may be dehydrated or your energy is reverse or both. So get hydrated and ask if your energy reverse. If it is, ask that be changed to normal now and that you are downloaded in your body with an I am presence now. I have seen immediate changes and I have seen changes that took hours, days, week and months, so your results may vary, but I believe that this can create profound changes through applied kinesiology, kinesiology, and standing muscle testing, or using your own style of muscle testing or a pendulum. You can witness it yourself. Again, some changes. Take longer to release and download than others. I believe they have unique frequency and waves. Often clients will move side to side, which could have to do with letting go of a control of abandonment issues. Others spin around a little bit as though they are using a hula hoop, while others feel tremendous pulls forward and back as if spirit is vacuuming them up, while still others feel for a minute state that they are being pulled forward or backward as a though they are stuck. A minute is a long time when you are doing something new and different, but it is often how you know that something is happening. Your result may vary. Vary. Right. If you have been doing this for so long, why would you give away your best word tracks and your best inner knowledge of how to change events or disease or disorder or just plain bad stuff? Mac. My answer remains unchanged. If I can help contribute to others and someone somewhere relays this to someone else who received his or her heart's desire or is magically cured of an illness or disorder, then it was worth it. Will it cause the lame to walk? I believe that it can if you find the angel correct series of words and believe like lottery numbers, a spinning wheel, jackpot, or the right safe combination. If you access the divine and are intuitively given the ideal word, tracks and releases, changes occurs. The longer I practice the fish, the more initiative I become. You need not take endless weekend or week long classes or pay tons of money as I did over decades in order to create change. I have found it to be more likely that the change utilizing the fish is better. It has been my experience that there is a higher probability that the change will be good than if you did nothing at all or practice more traditional method. This can be a game changer. It was for me and I honestly hope it will be for you. Right. Why does it not work for everyone and everything immediately every time? I do not know, but what I do know is that I have witnessed more miracles utilizing this than anything else. I have watched, experienced, practiced, or learned. You can try out each tip in this book and see what works for you. I believe you will be amazed at the outcomes if you can remain as neutral as possible without feeling as though you are forcing anything or causing something to happen. As an example, you need not concentrate a whole lot to will a paper airplane to fly. But if you fold a nice one, it can take flight. How far or high it will fly may vary. Vary. We, right. What does it work on best? Mac. My personal experience is that it works best on mental issues such as sadness or sorrow, addiction, as well as variety of disease and disorder. I have seen it create profound changes in others' lives and that of my own. I believe the more creative you can be with this framework, the more profound your change is apt to be. Eventually, you can get to a place where you are imprinting an issue into the design of a gold liquid fish, and as fast as you can see it or imagine it, much like turning on a light, it can change and shift. Right. What do I do to achieve this level of belief and knowing? Mac. I practice it daily and it seems for me to get even stronger, faster, and deeper. It is simple yet expensive, and I have not seen anything that it cannot affect in a more positive way. If you play with it long enough, over time it can start playing with you, and you will notice that you are becoming more in tune, more initiative, and that more of life is starting to show up for you without your having to chase anything. In essence, you are recreating the sequence of your life differently by taking out that which is no longer serves you and adding that which will enhance you and your life and that of others, because you can do it for others too, much like you would say a prayer for another. You need not get their permission. That is my experience and belief. While others might say that you could affect your karma or that of the other person without asking permission to change any little newness or piece of someone else's life, I disagree. If you see a car wreck and people laid out on the road injured and or bleeding, you would not stop your car, revive them, and ask, "Do you mind if I pray for you?" You would just do it and hope beyond all hope for the best to come to them now. I have also found it best to face north like a compass. Being hydrated makes a difference too. Some other abstract pieces you will want to check if this is or is not working for you may include I'm over energy or reverse energy. Change this by using the liquid fish and work on releasing that to know. Make certain to have positive responses to I am and I'm clear, I'm unclear should always test as no, and finally I'm running forward in life. This has been encoded to me in body, mind, spirit, health, business, love, and so on, and or as much as you could pack into it, right? What happens now? Mac. The field is the morphic field of all that is. This can represent to you a beautiful beach scenes, an open field of meadow, or even a sky lit night. Now imagine looking up at your favorite scene like one of those idly. If you can be there in a person, that even better. You will then be asking your fish to take up the negative into the cloud heavens. When creating your fish for the positive, start as heaven and move toward you. This represent bringing the good down from the clouds heaven into every aspect of your being. Right. What have your healing coaching clients said about how you're using this has worked for them? Mac. I'm glad you asked that. I get a beat email daily and I will share three with you now. I worked with Jimmy Mack for several years. In short time, he brought my income up to the highest it's ever been. I love his witty, down to earth personality. He's very easy to talk to, always knows what I need to change, clear most, and always lifts my spirit. He lifts my spirit. He is a true blessing and I cannot recommend him enough. I'm now working with him on a weight issue, and I have no doubt that I will be one slimmer, sexier cheeks as a result of our session. Thank you, Jimmy, for all you do. Second, hi, Jimmy Mac. I just wanted to give you an update. Living life in the flow almost always. Remembering to ask for what I want a good traffic, perfect timing, clients, money, and so. $81,000 worth of debt forgiven, completely raised by the bank. Profitable new clients falling into my lap, attracting all kind of great people. Everyone asking me what I do for living and my answering in a fun way. Being respected, heard, and knowing that my intention will come to fruition. The list goes and on and on. I'm super grateful to you for helping me in this shift. I cannot believe how different everything is. Thanks for everything, JP. Hey Jimmy, so job stuff and money are looking up. My current job on the Broadway play that was underpaying me now is giving me $250 a week, much better than the $50 I was getting for about 40 hours a week. I also just got hired to work for a full year paid internship for a TV shows at CBS. I met someone and got ticket invite to the red carpet event. Still open to love and any opportunities that present themselves. I'm thrilled with the job situation. Thank you. About the author, Jimmy Mack. Jimmy Mack is a medical initiative and spiritual life coach. He has completed a variety of healing modalities, but after a near death experience, NDE, he noticed that his ability to help and contribute to others had greatly increased. He works plays with clients worldwide by way of in person appointments, phone, and Skype. Jimmy Mack is an ordained minister, has degrees in American Studies and Theology, and a Doctor of Divinity degree. He learned about Reiki and became a Mayan Usui Reiki master. He has studied psychometry, psychic development. He has gone on a shamanic journey, taken remote viewing classes, and studies ascension with the monks. Later, he explored and completed levels of access consciousness, theta healing, as developed by Vienna Stable, as well as levels 1, 2, and 3 of reconnective healing made popular by Eric Pearl, DC. He became a certified practitioner in matrix energetics with Richard Bartlett, DCNP, as well as the UN method made popular by Dr. Kam Yuan.